My ultimate is ready.
Lock in! Anyways, Unk, I just started playing Valorant. What is the difference between lurking and flanking? Woohoo! You asked! The perfect person for this, me, a retired gangster! And why is that, you say? Let's just say back in 84, how do you think I was robbing people? Give me all your fucking money! Yes, indeed, I was lurking and flanking their ass. Lock in! So, lurking and flanking. Very similar, but very different. Alright, starting off with flanking. Alright, what is flanking? Flanking is when you flank. Lock in. Flanking is usually done on a defensive round. Alright, you're defending a site. Usually to flank, you have to push out, either through their main area, which in this case would be B main, or you can push out through mid. Alright, the goal is to go and sneak up behind them and give them vicious back shots. Alright, that's essentially what flanking is. But you gotta perfect it. Alright, you can't be doing that every round. The other team will adapt. Alright, so if you start pushing out every round, they're gonna start holding your ass. Alright, there might be one hiding behind this corner. There might be one holding you from over here. So, who flanks is also very important. Alright, for example, a duelist, flank. Who gives a shit? Alright, a smokes player. If you flank and you die, your team has no smokes, cuh. You just through. Alright, you know what I mean? Alright, so lock in. Now, lurkin' is something done on attack. Lurkin' is when you separate yourself from your whole team and try to gather space somewhere else. For example, let's say my whole team is going A and I'm lurking up mid. Essentially, my goal as a lurker is not to get kills, but to gather información. Alright, information. Alright, so right here, what I would do, let's say my team is up A, and then I hear them rotating from market to A. I would say, yo, they're leaving market, they're leaving B. Start rotating back to B, cuh. Now, who should lurk? Usually a sentinel. Alright, that's my go-to. Maybe a chamber, a cypher. Maybe sometimes a smokes player, like an omen. Alright, because he could TP over trips. Alright, maybe even a Reyna. Lock it!